Hey there. How you doing today? Thanks for the light. Welcome in. No, I'm glad to hear that, James. My day's going pretty good. I can't complain. Just trying to stay sane out here. Like I'll give a little more time to see. I know it's an impromptu live, but I feel like I wanted to check in with everyone. I didn't jump on this week because I knew everybody'd be celebrating the holidays and everything like that. So I just want to give people time with their families and, to do what you got to do. It is an insane world, very much so. People need help. I agree. Hey there, Magnolia. What time is it? Ooh, where I'm at is 1:07 p.m. Yeah, the gang stalkers are making their last ditch efforts. They trying real hard. Now I know what you meant. It's all good. Now that's why I don't know if you guys saw on the community post I had put about, experiencing more uh like people messing with my tech. And it's been happening for quite some time, but it's just like getting to that point where it's really annoying. I don't even get mad about it because I just know what to do to remedy it, but it just gets annoying. So it's like I really wish people would get a life, you know. But I mean, other than that, I hope your day's going good. I hope you're safe. Hope everybody's safe. Hey, Mr. Demaco, am I saying it right? Welcome in. No, James, you got to declare it. 2025 will be our year. If not, I claim it for you because I refuse to live like this in 2025. Oh, okay, awesome. Well, welcome in. I said, how's everybody feeling? How y'all doing? That's right. There you go. Got to put a spin on those words. Words have power. Remember that. Oh, Demaco, I'm doing all right. Just getting by one day at a time. How about yourself? Oh, no, you said you're good. I'm sorry. I didn't see that part. No, I'm glad you're doing well. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays. For those who celebrate, I personally don't celebrate. I don't, I'm very non traditional. So I don't celebrate none of that stuff. It's kind of like when you learn the truth about a lot of things, it kind of ruins stuff for you. But I rather know the truth than be blind. So for those of you who are joining in, welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm glad you was able to do that, James. That's great. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just go ahead and start. I mean, it's not nothing I have pre-planned or anything, but just wanted to catch up with you guys and see how you're doing. I know I didn't post this week, but that was with intention. Like I stated earlier, I just wanted to make sure everyone got a chance to enjoy their holiday break. I didn't want to be like forcing my videos when I know everybody's probably spending time out of town or with family and stuff like that. But I just wanted to tap back into my title, which says that 2025 will be our year. And I 100% believe that with every fiber of my being. For me personally, I feel like 2024 was like a reflective year, to just kind of think on everything that, you know, I could have made improvements on, or, just doing more shadow work, dealing with healing my own wounds, my traumas, or whatever I've been dealing with, so that I continue to be a positive force in this world, and that I'm not yet another like bleeding soul running around spilling out all of my, what is it, all of my hang-ups on other people, because we are living in a time where it's so much easier for people to go out, and instead of dealing with their own stuff, they rather jump into drama or gossiping about other people. It's just so much easier for them to do stuff like that instead of doing the work themselves to improve on their own lives. And I'm not one of those people. I like to live my life, in a way that I can go to bed every night and I can look in the mirror every day and know that I like the person that I see looking back at me. I don't like to do or say things that I feel like I can't come back from. Again, stuff happens, but for the most part, the stuff that I can control, I do my best to. Um, and I know that, for a lot of us, I'm not sure what the percentages of, of my subscriber base that consider themselves TIs or chosen, or if it's just a good blend of you guys. But for those of you I know in the TI community, I want, to kind of let this message kind of ring with you guys a little bit, kind of dedicate it to you guys a little bit, because I know that this past year has been so tough. And I know I personally haven't like been sharing many updates on what's been going on with me in that department, but it's been with intention. I've been working on some things behind the scenes that I'm hoping that I can eventually present to you all to be able to help you guys too with what I find out. But right now, I'm still kind of in like the research phase. I'm trying to gather all of my information so that when I present it, I'm gonna have everything lined up and that I need. And I feel like it's something that I really would like to get for us, because I don't see anyone else really standing up for us. I know a lot of us tend to have a hard time getting help from this world. And I know it could be a reach, but I feel like we got to try something. And like I said, what I'm trying to do, I'm hoping I'll set it up in a way that we all would be able to benefit. But again, I'm not gonna reveal that because I'm still working on it. um, let's see, we're spending differently now. Yeah, no, I agree. It is challenge for me to journal when I have the GS. Yeah, and it is hard, James. Like I know we were kind of chatting a little bit earlier. It is really hard to stay positive when you're still ongoing, or going through a lot of this nonsense. But we got to keep finding our whys. Why do you get up in the morning? Why is showing up every day important to you? What is it that, focus on the thing that helps you to keep going, whether that's a loved one, whether that's if you got a little pet or whatever it is for you. You just got to keep pushing, because I'm at a point where I'm no longer afraid. I actually, I actually went on a little, well, I don't want to say little, but I went on a tirade yesterday for about like 2 hours, uh, on just talking to my phone, because I've been dealing with like entities tapping my phone, whether they know that I know that or not. But I do know that the signs are all there. And so instead of freaking out about that, I chose to turn it into a teaching session. At first, it started off as me venting about how, these people need to grow up, and, and ultimately I got to a point where I was telling them, like, hey, you guys just need to go and do the work, fix yourself before 2025 gets here, because when 2025 gets here, I have the strongest, and when I say strong, I mean the strongest urge, intuition, whatever, download, whatever you want to call it, that things are going to flip in the reverse, that the hunted essentially will become the hunters. And that's the energy I'm on right now. Like, I'm not choosing to be a victim. Like, this stuff is happening, but I'm not claiming it. I'm not saying like, oh, I can't believe they're doing all this to me. Like, no, at the end of the day, these are people, entities, whatever you want to call them, doing these things. But at the end of the day, it can't touch me, and it can't touch you either. And I think those of us, especially in the TI community, we need to wake up and realize that it's a very strong likelihood that we've been tapped on, if you believe in it, by the higher power, that we are special, that we are set apart, that we are chosen, that there's just something about us that's different from everybody else. And instead of the world celebrating us for being different, they try to, what's the word I can think of? They're trying to make us self-destruct or self-delete, because if someone can get in your mind, and mess with your mental and make you think that you're the problem, then it takes, like I said earlier, it takes the heat off of them, for them to recognize, I know, like, I'm just a POS. They're not a POS. I'm a POS, but they'll never admit that. They'll never do that. So instead, the alternative is getting that golden boy or girl or woman or man or whatever to self-destruct, or to catch us in a vulnerable place where they can point the finger and say, see, we told y'all this is how they are. We told y'all they're crazy. So, like I said, after that tirade I had yesterday, which I thank God for my husband, because he was on the line the whole time. And I just thank him for letting me get that out, because I needed to. Because he was like, "Oh, babe, I feel like you're preaching." I said, "In a way, I feel like I'm preaching." Because I'm also in a place where I'm like, if I could save just one of these people, the karma, the judgment that's en route for them, hey, I can say that I did my part. That even though these people are trying to do stuff and mean it for evil, I'm trying to flip it around and turn it for good. But that's only if they choose to stop what they're doing and get themselves together. Which, let me see what you guys are saying. So above, below, the last will become for exactly. See, Jane, you get it. Me and you, we right here. Absolutely. They could use the tech for good instead of bad. Yes, and I agree. And what's been sad is that a lot of this stuff that that they're doing, like I said, is I'm not new to it. I've experienced it before. Like, it was so bad. I actually had to get a newer version of the phone that I already had. And so the phone that I currently have, I haven't even had it a year yet. And because of what they've been doing, like, it's already showing signs like the battery, just isn't acting right and stuff like that. So I'm like, great. So now I gotta go get another phone, which, the type of person I am, is like, I like to just hold on to what I have. Like, if it's working, I'm not the type of person who just want to be running out here buying new every time something pops out. Like, that's just not me. So that's something I'm gonna have to bite the bullet on, because I want to still be able to have access to you guys and get more familiar with, like, doing lives and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I can't do that with a traditional camera unless someone knows something different. Then you guys let me know. But yeah, like, this stuff it's annoying, and it can bog you down. Like, I know, for me personally, this past week, like, I don't know if you guys have been experiencing, like, the major energy shifts that's been going on. Like, I really felt like off, like, all week. Like, I was having, like, weird nausea and, like, weird headaches. And I know in the past I didn't know what to call these things. I just thought like, oh, I'm having nausea. Oh, just a headache. But now I recognize, being more educated about spiritual matters is that these could be ascension symptoms. And I know I've been hearing a lot of talk about, that we're in Mercury retrograde and all that type of stuff. So again, if you subscribe or believe in any of that stuff, but I know I do just because I've had this stuff happening to me for so long and just didn't never know what to call it. So it feels good to know what it is, and to put a name to it. Yes. Focus, and that's how I felt this past week too, James. It seems like you and I have been experiencing some of the same things. Like that's pretty interesting. And that's something else I have been noticing is that I feel like the personal YouTubers that I watch, like I tend to watch them for motivation and inspiration, and they too, I guess, would consider themselves like either TIs or chosen ones. And I've been noticing like throughout the collective that a lot of them have been saying the same things. They've been experiencing the same things, and like when they put their messages on, um, it just blows me away because I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's exactly what I've been going through. Like, how do you know this? Are you watching me? And I recognize that I think that that's us as a collective community, that we're syncing up, even if it's telepathically, that we're syncing up with one another, and maybe we're communicating on a telepathic level, and I think we're just getting really good at it, honestly, in my opinion. But I just found it really interesting that a lot of the people that I watch too, they've been saying some of the same things, like, oh, 2025 is going to be our year, that everything that we lost is coming back to us 10, 20 fold, like I claim it. And honestly, it would trek, because I know for me, I've considered everything I've been going through, I've been considering it my Job era, for those of you who are familiar with that Bible story. And it's like, okay, well, Lord, well, how much longer must I endure this? But I've been trying to, do good about not just questioning stuff like that, because I know that things are going to play out exactly the way that they're meant to, and there's nothing I can do to change or stop that. And in this case, like I've already been seeing some early signs that I feel like 2025 is going to be going my way. And not just that, but I believe it, I affirm it. And as you know, what we focus on is what persists. If you continue to focus on all the negativity going on around you, I'm not saying that you can't acknowledge that it's there, because it is, but doesn't mean you got to keep your mind fixated on that. And that's where I'm at also. Like every time I feel like I'm about to, spin out about what's going on around me and stuff like that, I just go inward and I end up creating. Like, for example, me getting on this live, like I said, I had just came back from running some errands, and I did of course encounter some gang stalkers. And one of them like smiled at me directly in my face, and I just smiled back because I'm like, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me. It's that whole, like, I see you seeing me, but I still don't care. I'm here to do what I need to do and go home. And that's basically what I did. But instead of focusing on that and letting myself get, oh God, they're following me. Like, honestly, at this point, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked by anything that they do. Everything that they do, I expect. It's anticipated. So it's like it kind of takes the surprise element out of it. And I don't know, again, what their true motives are at the end of the day. But honestly, I don't care. I know I'm just going to keep doing what I need to do to make sure that myself and my family are okay. But I chose to take that, negative, or those negative encounters that I had up there, because that wasn't the only thing. But I just decided to come home and get on live, because I'm at a point now where I'm like, well, I can sit here and whine about it, or I can do something about it. So just, I'm just gonna keep being that great alchemist that I am. I'm gonna keep turning negativity into positivity every time. Which, hold on, I see what we got here. So on a bus, and a gentleman said what I had, exact thing, and I said I had no idea who he was. Oh wow, yeah, that's weird. channeling or something. Call me crazy, but I don't know how he did it. Like my vocal cords vibrated and his voice was intermingling. Hmm. Yeah, see, stuff like that, that starts to sound more supernatural, James. Like, I'm not 100% sure. And I think we can't even rule that out anymore. Like, we really are in times where the impossible is possible. So, shoot, is it a possibility? He could have been I hate to say alien, but yeah, like an alien maybe. Or did you feel um like a supernatural presence or like a feeling being around that person? Because I honestly don't know. I feel like I'm so oblivious to stuff like that. Oh, okay. No, and I've been slowly learning more and more about all these different tactics and materials and things that these people use. I It's like I care because I want to know, I want to be informed, but again, it's like it's it's not going to change anything. That's why I said I'm just resolved in knowing that nothing's gonna touch me, nothing's gonna harm me. And when you really know that and you believe it, it just doesn't matter. Everybody that's involved with all this stuff will face judgment, and it may not even be on this earthly plane, and that's fine by me. Because if, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people get slaps on the wrists down here. So I'm just at a place where I'm like, I'm ready for God's judgment to come and rain down on these people, because that's the only judgment that really is going to matter in the grand scheme of things. I know, like yesterday in my little rant, I had said about, maybe it's time for us, TIs to start suing these people, like especially if it's individuals that we notice on a consistent basis stalking us or doing whatever towards us, and that way we can find out what we need to find out about them to make their pockets hurt, essentially. Because a lot of these people these days, like, you could do everything they're doing to you right back to them, but it won't even phase them. It isn't, mostly it isn't until you hurt their pockets that they start to, oh, I'm sorry. Like, nah, I don't want your sorry. I just wanted you to stop, but you didn't want to do that. So now I'm gonna take everything from you. And that's how I've been feeling. But then I have to keep reminding myself, I'm like, Ash, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I could sit here and go through and sue everybody that I already have information on. It ain't gonna change nothing, because they're not gonna learn nothing from it. It might be a setback for them, because again, we know who truly this world belongs to. And as long as that individual or that entity is in control, these minions of his are going to be able to get off scot free every time. So I got to continue to be patient, as I'm encouraging you to continue to be patient and wait on the Most High. Not saying that if you do have to do that, if you are in a situation where you do need to do that, that you shouldn't. Like, no, definitely get your coin. I would never advise against that. But as far as like going tit for tat and all, like, it ain't worth it. Like, it ain't worth your sanity. It ain't worth your money, your time, your resources. Let them be. No, I agree. They're slowly fading to the background. Continue my life in Christ. No man's weapon can touch me. Exactly. Exactly. Thanks so much. It helps to find another person who's going through it, and it answers a lot of questions. No, I'm glad I got the courage to come on here and do this, because I was a little intimidated about going live, because it's like, oh, what am I going to talk about? What am I gonna say? And then I just remember what my husband had told me yesterday. He's like, babe, you're always saying such insightful things. And he's like, I really feel like people need to hear this stuff. And for the longest, I would fight him on it, essentially, like, oh, nobody wants to listen to, little old me. Like, no one wants to hear what I gotta say. But clearly, you guys are showing out and showing me that, like, no, you guys, you value what I have to say, and or that it's helping you in some way. And that's my ultimate goal. Like, if I can help, I definitely don't mind being of help. Of course, within reason, but I'm tired of being quiet, because I've been also getting this like message on like a spiritual, like side, on the spiritual side, they're like, oh, just stay quiet. Shh, don't say nothing. Just keep. But I'm like, no, forget that. Like, I don't want to be quiet no more. Like, I've been quiet for so long. I've endured long enough. Like, no, I'm gonna get this stuff off my chest. Like, I'm not gonna keep it in no more. I ain't, no, because that's what they bank on. They don't want you to, they don't want you to talk about it. They don't want you to get other people's eyes on it, because they can keep doing their evil in the dark, if no one's shining a spotlight on them. But it's a little harder when you got people paying attention to you. It's a little harder when you got people watching your whereabouts. Because, like I like to say, is like, okay, well, if you're wasting all your time and spending all your time watching and stalking and trying to figure out my whereabouts, I wonder who's doing that to you. So it's like, no, like, I want everyone on this channel or in my community to feel safe to say whatever you need to say. Because especially if it'll help you stay sane, get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. Don't hold it in. No, I'm so glad for that. And thank you. He's one of my biggest supporters. Like, I am so grateful for him. He has always been in my corner. He's my best friend. Like, so of course he hears he's been dealing with hearing it from me for some time, but he he's just happy to see that, that I finally have found my community. I found my tribe, so to speak, because that was something that I've always struggled with. I've always struggled, since my youth, to keep like really close knit family or friends and stuff like that. And in my youth, I struggled with it the most because I thought it was me. I always just would have these people come in my life and act as though like I had done something to them. Like, they immediately were just always turned off by me. And this was even as a girl. Like, I've never understood why people, had an issue with me. And even from like adults, I would experience this type of like weird mistreatment and stuff like that. And I'm not an evil person. Like, I don't go around trying to ruin people's days, but it's like a person can only endure so much for so long, you know? But I am grateful to hear that, you also have a support system, that your wife is a supporter for you, because I know I had encountered some people on the channel who had, talked about their significant others not necessarily believing them, or, downplaying their experiences. And I hate that for them, because I'm the type of person, I will never minimize what someone has gone through. Um, because it's like, how would I know if it did or didn't happen? I wasn't there. Like, that's all people have is their word. But when you have so many people that will easily tell a lie just to play victim and take the shine off of the real victims, like, it's sick. It's really sick. And that's why, for me, like, I would never get on here and pretend like I'm experiencing something that I'm not. Like, I am not hungry for attention. I have never been a person that attention seeks. Like, no, that's not me at all. If anything, I can't stand to be in the spotlight. And I know that might sound contrary because I'm on YouTube, but it wasn't because that's what I wanted to do. It's what I yet again felt like I was called to do. I felt like there is a need for me to speak about my experiences. And I'm not, just doing this just for me. Like, I'm doing this because I want to help people. And this is one of the platforms that allows me to do that from on my comfort level, because I feel like I've surpassed like needing to go out and go door to door and, helping people in the physical, just because we have so many people that lie, and so many people that, go and make GoFundMe's and stuff, and want people to pay their whole bills, but and making up sob stories and stuff like that when they're not really and truly in need. And I'm not saying that can't happen on the internet, because I definitely know it does. But at least by creating my community, it's like, well, if you keep showing back up to my channel, that's telling me that there's something about what I'm talking about that's resonating with you, even if it's not you personally. If it's a loved one that you know of that's going through what I'm going through, and you're just, coming on to relate back to them, like, clearly there's something that keeps pulling you back here. And I just, I think it's just very important to just get it out and get it done with, because people are going to be people. um we can't change people, unfortunately. Only person we can change is ourselves. And I think that's what it is. Like, we have to keep being the light in this dark world. We have to keep being those positive people. And it's not always easy, especially when you receive stuff like what we receive. Like, it gets a bit challenging, but I think that's a part of the journey, honestly. It helps. Exactly. What is their gain? Exactly. I James, I tell you, if I knew, if there, I don't know if there's some like type of lottery that these people, a lottery ticket that they get every time they do these things, or if they are being promised a car. Like, I don't, like, I really wish I could know too, because I'm like, bro, like, I'm at this point, like, okay, whoever's paying you to do this, I'll pay you to leave me alone. Because it's like, bro, I'm really not that interesting of a person, or at least I don't think so. Like, I'm a homebody 100% through and through. Home is my safe space. Home is my sanctuary. The only people I really care to be around are my little family members, with myself, my husband, and my two children. That's it. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, I don't do any of these worldly things. And it's not even so much on a religious point. It's just like, it's just not me. Like, I'm not into that type of stuff. So it's like, I just like to be in my peace. I just like to be in my own little world. And I don't know why that bothers people so bad. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I stopped doing it, James. Like, I don't even let myself go down that rabbit hole anymore, because I am a why person. Like, I like to know the whys. Why is there doing it? Why? But again, I recognize that there are some things that you'll never know the why. It's just one of those things. But yeah, 2025 is gonna be our year, guys. Like, it has to. Something has to give. Something has to break. And I truly believe that, like, in every fiber of my being. And it may not be all at once. We may not see a major change all at once, but I do believe that over the course of the new year, things are going to start rolling out in a way where these people who have been responsible for doing these things, that we're going to start to see in real time their karma and stuff coming back to them. As far as they'll lie, gain nothing, and even put themselves in bad. Exactly. War game, right? Like, which, thank you. Shout out to my moderator. But yeah, no, exactly. Like, I don't know what it is they hope to gain, other than a one-way ticket to hell. Like, I I really don't know what they hope to gain, because, like I said, I've been saying this, like, I don't have nothing for them. All I can recommend is that they go seek help. They go get some therapy, like I did. I have no shame in that. I've gone to therapy numerous of times and sorted out and worked out all my stuff. So, like, that, I think what we got to remember is, like, we're dealing with unhealed people. And it's like, there's that, especially, if you're within my little community. I feel like a lot of us are naturally empathic, and we want to be able to like, help some of these people, but some of these people are beyond our help. And we have to remind ourselves that just because these people are broken doesn't mean that it's our job to fix them. you know I believe, just like with anything, you first have to want to help yourself first. There has to be a desire to want to change. But if you don't want to change, then it doesn't matter what I do. You're still going to remain the same. And me personally, I don't want to remain the same. I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to get better and better each and every day. Every day, every moment, every second of the hour, I want to be striving to be a better version of myself. I don't want to still be, going on about this stuff in 2025. Like, but again, that's out of my control. Like, that's not something I can control. Yep. And that's why, like, for when it comes to forgiveness, like, that's a for you thing. It really doesn't have much to do with them. You can forgive these people in your mind or in your heart, but never tell them personally, because that's where I feel like, yeah, I can forgive, but that doesn't change the consequences that'll still follow them. Like, someone's gonna have to get this butt whooping. Somebody gonna have to get it. It ain't gonna be me, because I've been putting in the work. I've been putting nothing but good as best I can into the world. So somebody's gonna get it. It ain't gonna be me though. Yeah, grudges, like, it's pointless. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But no, I just know that 2025, things are gonna change. Like, they have to. Because I know, like, sometimes my husband and I will be talking, I'll be like, oh, and I know he says it too. He's like, oh, it just feels like sometimes the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I recognize that we feel that way. It's not even so much so that we aren't doing things to try to create change. It's just that I feel like things are being held up on an energetic level. They're being blocked, so to speak, by, like I said, the true ruler of this place. But I do feel like that's getting ready to change. I feel like we are going to experience some really phenomenal things in 2025. I mean, I feel like we're already seeing things. For those of you who are uh, located in the US, just like with all the stuff we've been seeing about the local news and the drones and all this other stuff, the aliens in the water or whatever, like, if there's any truth to that, like, I feel like we're already getting like a little taste of what we're going to see more of in 2025, in my opinion. And shoot, all I can hope in that situation is that I become a friend, not a foe to those entities. That's all I can hope. Yeah, that's true too. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Yeah. I mean, because again, we can only control what we can control. But I know for me, it's about mindset also. So if there's all of us collectively thinking and believing, hey, 2025 is gonna be my year. 2025 is gonna be different. It has no choice but to change. I don't know if any of you are like Doctor Who fans, because my family and I were like big nerds. And Doctor Who is definitely one of those series that we love. And I keep thinking about there was an episode where he was going against his arch nemesis. What was it? The Master. And he had killed him, but because everyone universally was thinking about him, remembering him, it brought him back to life. Like, that episode is always stuck with me. I can't remember what season and all that, but I remember that episode so vividly. And that's what I mean when I say about us as a community. If we just keep thinking that, if we keep repeating it to ourselves, like, it has no choice but to change. Even in our subconscious, like, the things that we say we don't want, when we rant and we rave and we talk about it and we go on about it, it actually reaffirms it in our subconscious. That's why sometimes, like, if you go to bed, you know, thinking about something that you really don't like or whatever, you'll wake up and it's still on your mind, because your subconscious is trying to figure out a way to work it out for you. And that's why I'm saying, like, whatever we choose to focus on, that is what will persist. So for me, I'm choosing to turn all of this negativity and focus it onto something positive. Instead of getting mad or getting angry or whatever, I'm choosing to just do something better. And yeah, of course, for those of you who pray, like I said, if you pray, pray. If you journal, journal. If you sage, sage. Whatever it is that you do that helps you. Oh man. Like, see, I feel better already. Like, this was the move. This was this was a good thing to do because not only am I getting out what I'm feeling, I'm also being able to hopefully encourage and other people, or at least that's the hope. I know sometimes stuff goes in one ear and out the other, and that's fine. But I want people to know when they come to my channel that it is a safe space. That I want us all to be able to um, voice how we feel and to continue to just show up as best we can for each other. Like, I would love to be able to get to a place where we all can maybe even like you know I guess like have a little meeting or something. I don't necessarily think in person because I know that may not be the comfort level for some of us or most of us just because of what we're enduring and what we're going through. But like, I wouldn't mind like us like organizing like a Zoom call or something like that. Like, if we, and just start trying to have more check-ins with each other, and just seeing how we're all doing. And I know that there's a safety aspect to that because there's always probably going to be infiltrators. I know for a fact on other TI people's channels they have infiltrators that come in and try to stir stuff up or try to learn what we're doing. But I feel like if enough of us good and actual TIs come together, we will be a force to be reckoned with. Like, we can't no longer let these people keep us so isolated from one another that we're afraid to reach out to each other. We have to reach out to one another, because I just been feeling like so heavy on my spirit to like need to do that. Like, I need to check on my people and make sure y'all are good. Yep, break from thought. And it helps to conversate with a person that thinks it's an empire state of mind. Yes, absolutely. No, and it feels good to have people to be able to converse with, about this type of stuff. I've always kind of considered myself an intellectual, and I don't mean like, oh, I think I'm an Einstein or whatever, but I'm just saying like I feel like I am not the stereotypical woman. I don't tend to gravitate towards a lot of the modern trends of today. I just always consider myself to kind of be in a league on my own. I like to read. I love sci-fi. I love dystopian things. I love murder mysteries. I love, gaming on occasion. Like, I feel like I have a lot of different interests, and sometimes they can go pretty deep. Because I swear every other week I'm researching something else or wanting to learn a new skill and something else. Like, I just adapt well to my circumstances and environments. But I don't know, I've just always been in a class. I feel like in a classroom by myself, and outside of my spouse, like, I've just never really feel like I've met a lot of people that I could really, go in and talk about a lot of these things without them looking at me like, okay, yeah, you're a nut job. And it's like, no, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. Honestly, that's kind of like a badge of honor these days. If someone calls you crazy, because it's like, I feel like everyone has to be just a little bit crazy to survive in this world that we live in right now. So, and then not only that, the main ones that are calling us crazy are typically the ones that are crazy. But I digress. I digress. Yeah. Yeah, I'm guilty of that as well. That was me this week. That's why I said, like, this week I just felt like off. I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna rest. I'm just gonna rest and see how I feel. And lo and behold, I got up yesterday and I was like, okay, I'm ready to tackle some stuff again. So that's why I got out here and took care of what I need to take care of. I did also want to kind of give you guys a heads up that I am working on a new, or I do have some new mini series that I'm working on. This one story in particular, I'll give you guys a little teaser. It's basically about an event that took place on my husband's 5th anniversary. Um, yeah, it's definitely something you're going to want to come back around for. It was 100% unexpected when it happened, but I plan on telling it to we're telling that story to let you guys know, like, I feel like that's another indicator how I know my family is just divinely protected. I feel like God's hands have always been over me and my family, because it was just kind of one of those supernatural like things. Like I still to this day can't make sense of it. And yeah, so just look out for that. I'm hoping to have it up for this Wednesday. If not, you guys, hey, hold me accountable, because like James said, hey, I procrastinate sometimes too. I'm not even gonna lie. But I definitely felt more inspired this week to, or towards the end of this week, to get that story out. It's not going to be a long series like how I did the gang stalker series, but it's definitely just going to be one video, because it really doesn't need more than that. But I'm probably going to voice it over so you guys can just focus on what I'm trying to tell you instead of worrying about looking at my mug. So just look out for that. Which, thank you, James. Yeah, our anniversary is actually right around the corner here again, so I guess it's a good time to tell it. Yeah, right time, right season. I agree. Everything in a season, and seasons come and seasons go, and that's how I know. Like, for those of us who've been putting in the work, and we've been, keeping our head down, doing the things that we're supposed to do, and still been receiving all this like backlash stuff. Like, I think that season for us is coming to a close. I think our winning season is in 2025. I really do believe that. But I mean, outside of those things that I shared, I didn't really have anything else. I just, like I said, wanted to let you guys know I'm still here, and I'm excited for the new year. I hope you guys are too. I know there's a lot of uncertainty going on. Like I said, especially if you're in the US, like, we just got a lot of things, a lot of changes coming. And I just want to encourage everyone to stay uplifted, to stay motivated, to keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. You're doing great. If you got to have a day, you got to cry it out, cry it out. If you, if you just got to say, you know what, I'm going to just stay in my bed all day, do that. Like, do whatever is going to help you push, keep pushing and getting through. I think we got to be even more kind to ourselves right now, because it just seems like we're not getting it from others. Like, people in this world are getting like really, really low vibrational. I mean, I know a lot of them already were, but I just feel like there's just so much negativity going around, and that stuff can be a drain on you, especially if you consider yourself like a high vibrational person like myself. Like, being around too much negativity, it drains you. It really does. So do whatever it is you got to do to keep yourself upbeat. I hope, if you're visiting my channel, you're getting something from it. I hope it helps you keep upbeat. Shoot, put my video on and just listen, and just keep listening. If that's what helps you get through your day, do that. Like, because I'm the same way. Like, a lot of the YouTubers that I watch, I listen to their stuff like religiously. Like, it's almost to a point where that's what gets me through my day. Listening to other people talk about, the things that they're experiencing, or, listen to their encouraging words. Like, that's how we fellowship. We got to keep being positive and reminding each other, like, we got this. We're going to get through this one day at a time. Yep, energy vampires, absolutely. And I'm glad that this helps, James. Like, that you have no idea. You saying that means a lot to me. It lets me know that I need to keep going. Um, because I have those days too where I'm like, you know what? Who am I fooling? Like, no one cares about this stuff. Like, no one cares. No one wants to hear this. But, hearing just one person say that means a lot to me. And so I will keep my head up as well, and I will keep coming back, and I'll keep going. So thank you. I really appreciate it. I mean, would you guys like to see more lives? because that's something I can definitely try to, I guess, get better at doing. It's still fairly new to me, so I'm still trying to uh like get the feel of it. All right, well, there's nothing else. I'll catch you guys later. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And just keep your heads up, people. Trust me, it gets better. And you got me here if you need me. All right. But I'm going to see you guys later. See ya.